Hey now, everyone. Happy Easter. Only 3 shows left after this. Yes, the hockey gods, they can be merciful.
Can't stop addicted to the shindig.
Hey, everybody. Hope you guys are finishing off the weekend right. We welcome you back to another episode of the Pucknologists, the only completely live, unfiltered, unedited, uncensored, commercial-free San Jose Sharks podcast, wrapping up the week in Sharks hockey, part of Teal Town, USA. As always, if it's your first time checking out the cast, hit like and subscribe on the platform of your choice. Leave your takes in the comment section if you're not able to join us live, but if you're in the live chat, say what up. And remember, during every episode of the Pucknologists this season, we're going to be giving away some prizes. And our social media accounts, they're all available on just about everywhere. And so there you go. Let's go. It's the worst season in 30 years. It continues. And you thought last season sucked, eh? Hold my beer, indeed. Hold it. And, I mean, the Sharks shut out a team this week, and they still lost the combined score of the 3 games, 9-8. That's where we're at this point, people. I don't know if you can see, but I don't have the little ear things in tonight because I'm rolling solo, people. The jerk man, he's with us in spirit, as you can see, but Chief had a hockey game tonight. What are you going to do? I can't believe the comment section isn't lit top to bottom with people saying, "Where's Jerk?" But there you go. What up, bozo? So we got 3 games. And without Jerk, I should also mention, this is probably going to be a really short show. Oh, man. Sharks, Dallas. It's a 6-3 loss. And, I mean, the typical, the same things that we've seen all season long. They lose, their opponent gets more opportunities with the man advantage. Dallas outshoots them 41-20. The Sharks got off 3 shots on goal in the third. 3 shots on goal. That's also, I want to see a feature of this week. Not a bug, a feature. And the Sharks gave up a shorthanded goal and a power play goal. Zadina's a -4. Has there been a streakier Shark this season? I'm wanting to know. Yes, many people are saying the jerk man very well could be on assignment. That assignment, playing hockey. But look, this is just as we want. You know, the Sharks sucked, but hey, I mean, were they at least playing the right way? It depends on who you want to ask, but that seems to be the in vogue thing to say. Were they playing the right way? At least they were playing the right way. The attendance on this one, just over 12,000. I was told by an employee that they were expecting closer to about 73. But remember, if this ends up being Pavelski's last game in San Jose, at least 40,000 people will say they were there, as long as there's that. Many people are saying. But this was just I don't know. It was about what we expected with this Dallas game, and then we move on to the Minnesota one. Now, the Minnesota one, of course, was interesting because you got Minnesota chasing Vegas. And then, as we saw the other night, St. Louis chasing Vegas. And you're thinking they're going to come out with a lot to play for. Didn't really turn out like that. Anyone who doesn't root for my team to win is a fascist, says Hockey Jerk. There you go. And Falcon Strike, the Blues game was a repeat of the first game against the Blues. Sharks got outplayed, but still dominated the scoreboard. Yeah, that's been a weird thing this week. Anyway, back to the Minnesota game real quick. Blackwood starts another one. A Minnesota reporter called him Barbanov. Some say Barabanov. Some say Barabanov. But Barbanov? Anyway, out week to week, which if you follow Jerk on the Twitter, he said, dude, there's 3 weeks left. I mean, what are we talking here? So we'll see if it's just for a week. I don't know. I mean, 6-game homestand coming up. I can see him getting back by then, but who knows? Again, the opponent gets more chances on the power play than the Sharks. The Sharks are outshot, and they had 1 shot on goal in the first period. Is that what we're doing now? Just, okay, 3 shots on goal in the third versus Dallas, 1 shot on goal in the first, but that's what it is? Are you kidding me with this? But Granlund in this loss, he looked to pass it and somehow buried one of the flukiest bounces I've ever seen. But 18 seconds into the third, Minnesota makes it 2-1, and that's all they would need. It's another game where the Sharks are undone in the third. They're outscored 2-0. It's their 9th straight loss. They lost 11 to open. They had that 12 straight losing streak starting halfway through December. Since the All-Star break, 2 wins. And this, sadly, it would not end up being the 10th win or the 10th straight loss in the next game versus St. Louis. But I was thinking, has any team ever had double-digit losing streaks in one season? And yes, the Sharks, 92-93, 17, 13, and 13. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm sorry. I'm also, since I am rolling solo, I'm also trying to look at my numbers, but also pay attention to what's happening in the chat. That's usually something that Jerk is able to take care of for me. But nevertheless, I'm persisting. So finally, San Jose ends up in St. Louis. Again, it's a team that is chasing Vegas, who, by the way, Vegas had a phenomenal week this week. It really pisses you off if you're rooting against them, to be quite honest. They had a very good week, not what I was expecting. Blackwood gets his 3rd straight start, and we're back to this whole 3 shots on goal for San Jose in the first. 3 shots on goal. But in the second, they held St. Louis to just 3 shots on goal. Oh, and by the way, they scored 3 times. Blackwood would get his 10th career shutout, and thankfully, the Blackhawks beat the Flyers earlier in the day, so the 7-point gap remains to get that those best draft odds. And now with like 10 games left and there's a 7-point gap, I just don't see San Jose making that gap up. I don't see the Blackhawks finishing last. I think we're safe to say that it's going to be San Jose. Of course, now that I'm saying that, Jerk is clipping this to play it in 3 weeks. See, and AO saying, I like Hertl, but I still can't root for Vegas. I'm right there with you. But the whole thing, Hertl isn't playing. So, I mean, there you go. No conflict of interest right there. So that's the way the games went this week. Sharks go 1-2. It's about what you would think that would go. Although, again, I'm still shocked that St. Louis didn't have a little more energy in this one. I mean, to get booed off your home ice when you are just chasing Vegas for that wild card spot. Ronald, my man. Oh, Sharks last. You got the red hot chili peppers going on through the brain. We love it. All right, so that's the way the week is. Again, this is going to be a quick show, people. Ty Emberson, it was reported, will miss the rest of the season. He was a waivers claim, making the league minimum. 23-year-old right-handed defenseman who is RFA this summer. I would imagine we're going to see him in teal next season. I hope we're going to see him in teal. I hope he gets a real look. I don't know that we got to see a whole lot of them this season, but there was more than a few guys this season we didn't get to see a whole lot of. I can't believe how many injuries there were this year. Sharks prospect, and I'm probably going to butcher this. It's fine. Somebody can correct me. Luca Cagnoni, yay, posted the first 90-point season by a WHL defenseman in the last 30 years, or since the Sharks started playing at San Jose Arena, now known as SAP. Cap space is becoming a big, huge talking point. So since I'm solo, I got to roll this out to the people watching, all you folks in the chat. How do you want to see Grier deal with the cap space this season? I'll give you a couple options because they're going to have a massive amount this summer. Do you want to actually see him use that money to pick up some players that will help the team contribute in some way, shape, or form next season and win more than where are we at now? 17 games? 17. Yes, 17. You want to see him try for more than 20 wins next season? Or shall we kick the can one more season? Use all that space to take on more bad contracts that's going to get you draft picks, potentially prospects, some sort of return as you know, for helping other teams clear out the bad stuff. I'm going to say I kick the can one more season just based on the numbers that we see on Cap Friendly. You know, you got Granlund for another season. You got Sturm for another season. You got Klim Shady. Zetts is here for one more season. But you still got two more on Vlasic, two more on Ferraro. Got another season of Ruda. So I feel like if the team is not going to be very good next season, and at this point, I don't know that there's anything to say that they would be, why not kick the can one more season and get as much as you can and then look for... Remember, too, there's also the 3 salary retentions are all clogged up next season. So I say kick the can one more time, but you know, share your takes in the chat or in the comment section. I'm interested to see which way that would go. You know, are you tired of like these 3 horrific consecutive seasons that have occurred? Or, and you know, and you're like, okay, come on, I want something resembling competitive. Or are you just like, nah, man, just burn it the hell down for one more and just get back? Because, and Falcon Strike is making the point, who makes the NHL first, Smith or Musty? I'm just saying we're obviously high on Smith and Musty. We want to see what players like maybe Muka Madulin will do. How about if Bordeleau can stick with the team the entire time? There's no need to rush these guys, in my opinion. So let them marinate. Let them marinate and let them not get used to losing 60 games. Let them cook, as they say. I'm very much pro let it cook. And we talked about Hertl. There was a little mention of Hertl earlier. For those of you who follow Down Goes Brown, they did a little bit of cap court, and I thought there was an interesting point made here. The verdict, it says, the deadline stunner that brought Hertl to Vegas got rave reviews, but that contract is dicier than you might have realized. I think we want to wait and see how he fits with the Knights before we call it a bad deal, especially with that retention. But don't be surprised if the Knights are coldly dumping the deal in an off season or two. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But Vegas, they are a cold team. They don't give a fuck. If they want you out, you out. So there you go. And Ian bringing up a point. Have you seen the Barracuda's record? Yes, it's horrific. Officially eliminated this week. But I get your point. I mean, they're getting used to losing there, but, you know, I'd rather them, I don't know, maybe start winning there, build the core down there, and then bring them up. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to see them get dogged their first go-around. Let them cook a little. Let them cook. But the Hertl thing in Vegas, that is going to be interesting to see. The one thing I don't want to see Mike Grier pull a Doug Wilson and be like, after 3 years or whatever, let's bring Hertl back. No. This is not another Scott Hannon. Or no, just not another Jeff Friesen, Sandis Ozolinsh. No. You gone. We're not bringing you back. Tough shit. Deal with it. So moving on to the future, another question that has popped up is Couture going on LTIR, as in LTI retired? Will he be able to come back? Obviously, that's going to remain to be seen. It's going to be one hell of a long summer for the current Sharks captain. If he does end up retiring, if he is unable to beat this injury, who gets the C? A lot of people would have said Hertl before he was gone. Some people now might say Ferraro. I maybe lean a little towards Granlund. Or maybe the case is to stick with A's until a captain emerges. Who would be your pick to wear the C if Couture is no longer able to go? I'm just with Sophia. We already know Vlasic doesn't want it. He's never made a play for it. He's not asking for it. It's just, Ferraro's one of the few that are still signed through more than next season, so almost fait accompli. And Berg saying no, and there you go. Maybe you just stick with A's. I mean, why not? And Sharks Jules pointing out Musty is on his first year, so he can play 9 games and nothing will get burnt. So that's the way I'm at. Let him come up, get his 9, and go back down. Why burn a year of the ELC when it's valuable right now? Oh, man. So let's, again, pointing to the future, how the offseason is going to look. How are the Penguins doing? Oh, baby. That pick is right where you want it right now, guys. 11th. No top 10 protection. It's 11th, both in points and points percentage. Erik Karlsson, if this works out, can he please be the gift that continues to keep on giving? We shall take it. And remember, we confirmed it. Even if the Pens do finish top 10, if they think they're going to suck harder next season, which could in fact be the case, they could always say, no, we understand it's top 10. We finished 10th, take it. Because we think we're going to finish 5th next season or something. Dig it. Either way, it's right now, I think you have to be very happy. Now, will this sit this way 3 weeks from now? Let's hope so. It seems like we haven't seen a lot of luck in Teal Town over the last few seasons. Let it swing the other way. Please let it swing the other way, and the Sharks end up with the number 1 pick and the 11th pick. How awesome would that be? And Jay Manny's saying, if the Sharks do get the 11th pick, who do we take? I'm going to be the first to tell you, I have no goddamn idea. That is a question for Ian and Jules and Lacey and Mark. They're the ones that follow that. So send your questions that way. In fact, they just talked about the Barracuda on Friday. So make sure you hit that up. They're the ones that will love to tell you. In fact, I believe Jules is in here. Jules, let them know. Who are you taking? We're going to, take the best one available. We need to stop filling spots. Just take the best player available. I know that there was a defensive name that was being bandied about, but just take the best one. I'm fine with that. But either way, we're 3 weeks out from potentially having the 1st and the 11th in the first round. Don't tell me you're not just like, oh. And according to Cap Friendly, Sharks have 2 picks in the second round too. So it could be a really fun draft. And where is the draft this season? I do believe it's in Vegas. Am I right? That could be fun. How hard Are the Sharks going to get booed if they're the number one pick in the draft and the draft is in Vegas? How hard is that going to happen? Oh, it's going to be fun. And speaking of Vegas, this is the thing that sucked for the week for me. We were on wild card watch. I was hoping there were things that could have happened this past week, that LA could have knocked Vegas out of the wild card. They would have been on the outside looking in. They had teams that are chasing ahead of them and chasing them. And what happened? St. Louis is chasing them. Vegas wins. Nashville's ahead of them. Vegas loses, but they got a loser point. Then they go to Winnipeg and pick up a rare victory with the way Winnipeg has been playing at home. And then at Minnesota, another team that is desperately chasing, and Vegas picks up the win in OT. So it's like they got points in every damn game this week. So it definitely had me that Drew Barrymore gif of just fuck. But it is what it is. Their next 6 are against Vancouver, Arizona, Vancouver again, Edmonton, Minnesota, and Colorado. And then they got a couple gimmies, like I think their last 2 are like Anaheim and Columbus or something. So that's a tough stretch, but take into account Vancouver and Colorado just clinched. Not a whole lot to play for. And Edmonton likely will have clinched by the time the game happens. Now, can LA force them back into the wild card? Make them face the Stars in the first round? Or would you rather see Vegas face Edmonton in the opening round? I don't know. LA's chasing, and I don't know. Vegas is playing real lucky right now, and LA just not so much. Not so much. Jules, I knew I could rely on her. Levshunov or Levshunov? Either way, isn't that a defensive player that a lot of people were talking about at 11? If memory serves. I don't know. Oh, I like this question from Berg. Does Joe Thornton announce the first pick for the Sharks this year since it was Marleau last year? I mean, I think they're silly if they don't, but isn't there a shot of Thornton? Isn't there like a quick video clip of him going, I love Vegas? So, I mean, come on. The promotion, the marketing is right there. It's already in the can. That would be great. I should also note, too, a buddy of mine told me that he happened to be at Santana Row Monday night and witnessed Jumbo picking up Pavs for dinner on Monday night since the Stars got in the night before. And I was like, yep, sounds about right. They still boys. All right, so let me get a little sip of my beverage. It's tough when you're rolling solo. I'm just saying. Got to wet the whistle. How sad is it that we like LA more than Vegas? So sad. But it is what it is. When the Sharks had 19 games left, I set the over-under for wins at 4.5 and said I'd hammer the under at 3.5. And with 9 games left, how's it looking? Well, they got 1 win in their last 10, 2 in their last 21. But of the 9 games left, you've got 1 versus a sub-500 team in Arizona, 2 against Seattle, who were playing 500 but look like shit this last week. But you also have 6 of them at home. And they actually have 10 home wins this season and 17 on the road, or 7 on the road. So they got a better home win rate. If you remember last season, they only won 8 games at home last season. So with that remaining schedule, God, I think they can win 2 out of the next 9. So it would be under 4.5, but over the 3.5. But the whole thing is, will they? We shall see. But what to watch for during those final 9 games? I'll tell you what I'm looking for. Progression from the Lunds, the Zetterlund, the Granlund, the Eklund. Let them continue to kind of drive the ship. I think we can all agree that they've been the entertaining thing to watch this season for the most part. It's been few and far between, but watching Granlund, Zetterlund, and Eklund, just, kind of find some chemistry. They're clearly having a good time with each other. So let's see more progression from the Lunds. Let's see them develop more chemistry. Maybe they get off to a quicker start next season. Eklund, does he start the season next year on the wing, or is he back to center? You remember Granlund, first 20 games for him were not that great, and then he got it going. So maybe he can start next season on a roll. Who knows? Over the next 9 games, does LeBanc get more leash, or do they just keep scratching his ass? That's probably not a good way to phrase that, scratching his ass. Do they keep scratching him from the sheet? Do they keep him off the ice? I think that probably reads better. But will the bank get anything? I mean, at this point, why bother, right? There's no reason to feature him. So, yes, Jerk is a mime, Chris. Clearly, Chris came to the party late. Jerk is on assignment. Oh, man. And can Blackwood finish this season healthy and strong? Can he continue? Just like I said, just got his 10th shutout. Can he keep that vibe going? Like, we want you to look good, but don't, play shutout hockey for the next 9 games, bro. Look good, but let in a couple so we, stay where we're at. And can Bordeleau continue to improve? Can he stick? Can he be here for the rest of the season? How about a little more from Addison and Thrun? I think a lot of people would like to see more from them. And I'm going to imagine that we're going to see Cooley at least once over the remaining 9. There is a back-to-back next weekend. So I think we should see Cooley at least once, maybe twice before the end of the season. So that's kind of the things that I'm looking for over the next 9. Maybe some, something off the board comes through, and it's interesting. But, man, let me get back to a few chat comments. Zetterlund has an amazing shot, legit sniper. I mean, how much were people dumping on that trade when it happened? Because, they always say whoever gets the best player wins the trade, and everybody's going, oh, Timo Meier. Timo Meier has struggled this season. He kind of got it going for a little while, then injury, but right now I'm not minding that trade a whole hell of a lot. Yeah, the Jerk man is playing the hockey. Oh, Falcon Strike, not an Addison fan. He sucks. Get him out of here. Gives up more points than he generates. Well, you know what? Next season, if you're throwing it out, maybe that's the kind of player you want. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's what I'm looking for in the final 9. A few other things here. The Sharks released their Shark Freak swag, finally. Of note, for those of you wanting to get your gear on, the Sharks Pro Shop just posted a promotion that they're going to be running from now until the end of the season. They're basically running different discounts for each remaining home game. So if you go to sharksproshop.com, no free ads, but just passing on this information, because I know that if I was thinking about picking something up, I'd be like, oh, wait, it's about to be discounted? Let me give it a day. So anyway, it's all on their website, so you can go check it out. That Sharks Freak swag, though, is a couple of those items that I am kind of eyeballing, giving it the horse eye, if you will, as Jerk likes to say. Hero and Zero. Oh, who's yours? Well, my hero for the week, Mikael Granlund. 2 goals and 2 assists in 3 games. He's been a point per game player over the last 10 games. I mentioned it earlier, perhaps a de facto captain with Couture out and Hertl gone. Elder statesman of the group, which of course simply means he's over 30. And dude is still playing his ass off in meaningless games, essentially. That's something I like to see. I know it. 32, and he's making $5 million. You would expect that, but signed for 1 more year, 32 years old. I mean, if he can have a really strong season, the Sharks don't have a salary retention spot next season. So if that dude can play up to his level and be a real nice, valuable piece to get. And I understand you trade him at the deadline, the actual money involved will be a lot less, but how awesome would it be for Granlund to like play the way he's been playing, but early and often next season, and be a really valuable piece for another team that's willing to perhaps overpay to get him? I would love that, as they say. So, my hero. He'll be my hero for the entire season if that's retroactively, if he is traded and brings back a nice return. Zero of the week, kind of going off the board. And I do like Kostin as a potential hero for the week, definitely. But my zero off the board, going with the owner of the Oakland Athletics, John Fisher. For those of you unaware, Major League Baseball opened their season this past Thursday, and the home opener attendance for the Athletics was 13,522. Now, that number looked like tickets distributed, not scanned. On TV, it looked like it was maybe half that. But the thing that really gets me, 13,522 for your home opener. That's lower than the Sharks' average attendance this year, which is 13,603. And that's last in the league at 78% capacity. So, and FYI, the attendance for today's Oakland Athletics game, 4,118. 4,118. You could have fit all of those people inside Tech CU Arena where the CUDA play. That's what they had at the Oakland Coliseum today. John Fisher, you are the biggest loser. Bye-bye. What a tool. Oh, a fun question came down the pipe earlier this week. I was asked a fun little trivia question. I'll ask it to you now. I'm sure you'll all get 2 out of 3 minimum. Here we go. Which NHL hockey players are 1, 2, and 3 on the list for having played the most Stanley Cup playoff games without winning a Stanley Cup? Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ba-dun-dun-dun. Anybody? Come on. I know you. Come on. You can get 2 out of 3. I know you can get 2 out of 3. So, those names are, and I know they're going to start coming in here in a hot second. I wish this chat was better than being like 30 seconds behind. That part kind of stinks. But the numbers are 1, 2, and 3, as if you couldn't guess. Patrick Marleau, 195. Most Stanley Cup playoff games without winning a cup. Patrick Marleau, 195. Joe Thornton, 187. Number 3 on the list, Dale Hunter, former captain of the Washington Capitals. Number 4 on that list, Joe Pavelski. And the thing that'll really bake the noodle, Pavs is at 182. Conceivably, he could go to number 1 on this list this season if the Stars have enough long series. If that goes 3 rounds, he could conceivably take over the top spot. Also of note on the list, at number 12, Marc-Edouard Vlasic. So, but at the very least, Pavs will likely move into second on that list in perhaps the first round. You know, if the first round that Dallas plays goes 6 games, boom, you just move from 4th to 2nd. But it really highlights just how successful the Sharks were for such a long time, but just could not get over the damn hump. But that's got to be a kick in the balls to Doug Wilson, too, to know that in not even a month, well, okay, in a month, less than a month, it's the 31st. I mean, when do playoffs start? The 20th? So in 3 weeks, well, okay, yeah, a month. 1, 2, and 3 on that list are all Sharks. Now, Wilson didn't have anything to do with Marleau coming in, but he was the GM when they got Pavs. He was the GM that made the deal to get Jumbo in. Man, that's. Oh, we thank you, Jeff Adams, for that question. That was that was something else to consider. And so, with the talk about Pavelski, we should mention Stars are in the hunt for the President's Trophy, also known as the Best New Artist Kiss of Death Award. The last President's Trophy winner to get a cup was the 2013 Blackhawks. Since the Sharks have entered the NHL in the 91-92 season, only 6 teams have won the President's Trophy that have gone on to win the cup. And right now, the Rangers have a 1-point lead over Dallas with a game in hand. Notably, the last time the Rangers won the President's Trophy, they did win the cup back in 1994. So a 30-year drought right now after going a 54-year drought. I got to say, with that kiss of death, let the Rangers have the President's Trophy. Let my boy Pavs actually hold the big shiny thing. That's what I want. And AO saying, if you're a Sharks captain, you will never win the cup. Is that what we're asking here? No wonder Vlasic doesn't want that fucking letter. Oh, man. Oh, interesting note, though. The trophy's been awarded 36 times. Only 8 of those winners have gone on to win the cup in their respective years. Additionally, 8 President's Trophy winners have been eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. Notably, your 2008-2009 San Jose Sharks. Another former Shark that will be in the playoffs is, I don't know, is this the name of which we do not speak? Is that what we're doing? Evander Kane. This past week, Frank Saravalli reported that Kane is evidently wearing out his welcome in Edmonton, while Adam Proto, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, suggested the Oilers could approach Kane about a trade this offseason. So, Atlanta/Winnipeg, Buffalo, San Jose, now Edmonton. I know Kane has his defenders. Even they have to admit, if he's so great, why do teams keep looking to move him off their roster? You know? If he's so star-spangled great, why does he keep wearing out his welcome? I have to know. At some point, I don't know. Got to stop making excuses and just figure something out. Come to a collective agreement that maybe we're all a little bit right. Okay, the tweet of the week. Oh my God, 40 minutes. I'm not even 40 minutes in. We're already at the tweet of the week. Again, it's, without Jerk's take, it's tough. But yeah, Ian, so many of you were so close. Like I said, I knew most of you would get 2 out of 3. And like I said, Ian in about a week is going to be, or in a month is going to be accurate. We got Ian out here projecting the future. So, tweet of the week. I think you guys can probably guess what this one's going to be. How do you do this, Vegas? This is not your saying. The Vegas Gold Knights, and the fact that it's their store, too, that's tweeting this out. VGK Gear. We are Tomas Hertl stands in this house. Rep the newest Golden Knight with your very own Fun Must Be Always shirt. Fuck you. That's our saying. Get your own saying. What a tacky move. I'm sorry, this is tacky. I mean, did Toronto or Florida sell Rooster Trick shirts? I mean, give me a break. This is just, such a, it's so Vegas, though. It is so Vegas. The people have so many receipts on this team, and they pop off. Their social media does, just keep an eye on the other accounts from time to time when Vegas starts getting a little too big for their britches. all of a sudden, boom, the receipts start popping off, and the Vegas Golden Knights admin all of a sudden heads for the hills. Oh, my gosh. Hey, Falcon Strike, bringing in a little super chat donation. Certainly appreciate that. Says, Grier should sign Connor McDavid in 2026. Why the hell not? Why not? You'll certainly have the money. Might only have 22 players, but hey. Anyway. Oh, and also, you know what? I've seen some people clowning on a couple of these websites, and the website owners getting a little upset. You can't be upset or whine when people are clowning your site specifically because you're bombarding them with ads, you know. Even if they paid money to subscribe. if I'm paying money to ride your train, I better not be in a shitty seat, you know. I mean, I get you need to make a buck and everything like that, but I'm going to be far more inclined to visit your site and pay for content if I'm not relentlessly smacked in the face with advertisements, especially when the experience on mobile is like 18,000 times worse. Just, you know what? Don't complain. Make your website better. Thank you. And I appreciate you coming to my TED Talk.
Ooh, Barracuda.
Was that it? You know what, Jules? Do you want to come on? You want to take the place of Hockey Jerk for this next segment, because the Barracuda have officially been eliminated from the playoff picture, making Good Friday a bad Friday. But you know what made it a better Friday? Ian, Jules, Lacey had the Barracuda eulogy, essentially, this past Friday night. Make sure you go check that out. Remember, you can follow Teal Town USA, Ian Reed, Sharks Jules, Kevin Lacey, Mark E. Mark on the Twitter for those live tweets and occasional gifts during most Barracuda games, although at this point you just go, whoa. But hey, good thing is on Easter, Barracuda won. And there was a lot of talk, what was it? Ethan Cardwell netting his 20th of the season. Gushin having a couple points, I believe first star of the game. So look, there are a couple pieces there. Let them cook. Like I said, you know, but we got to learn how to win more. Oh, do they have to figure out how to win? Yeah, Jules, come on down. If she's on Skype, I will dial her up right now. I'm just saying it. Well, she may be like, nope, I'm good. Either way, I'm on to prize time anyway. There's like 5 minutes left in this show. All right. If she wants to come in and tell the people about the little kids and who we should be drafting, I'm more than happy to extend the show. Time for the prize, people. 4 games this week. And the question was, how many goals will be allowed by the Vegas Golden Knights in their 4 games this week versus St. Louis, Nashville, Winnipeg, Minnesota? Out of the many entries, one person got it without going over. It was 1 allowed versus St. Louis, 5 allowed in their overtime loss to Nashville, 1 allowed in the victory over Winnipeg, and 1 in the overtime win versus Minnesota. That totals up 8. Congratulations to our first-time winner, David Starr. Tell me that doesn't sound like a porn name. A little bit. Anyway, David Starr, look, two-time entrant, first-time winner. Love that. Love a brand new winner every time. If Jerk hasn't already reached out to get your info, I'm sure he will be soon. But we did have a couple that came real close with 9. You know who you are, but a couple people guessed 9. We had a 10, couple of 11s. We had someone feeling themselves and went with 19. Jules is not prepared. That's fine. It's all good. But 19. That is some optimism, my friend. Hell yeah. Love that. Oh, that was, if only. Oh, I was rooting for you to be the winner. So we're gonna do another prize pack, of course, and we're going back to the well because there's 4 games at home this week for the Sharks. So we're going with attendance. Again, one last time. So as always, closest without going over. You got games against Seattle, LA, St. Louis, and Arizona. And the first game is mañana. So versus Seattle. Unfortunately, I will not be at that game. The only game I'm going to now, at least as of now, the only game I have tickets for between now and the end of the season is next Saturday. But sometimes things change. Anywho, Seattle on Monday, LA on Thursday, St. Louis next Saturday, Arizona next Sunday. I should also make note, the game on April 6th, a decent amount of tickets were given away, and there also is a giveaway that night. I believe that's the Straw Hat game. No relation to the pizza company. So, as always, it's 4 games, combined attendance of those 4 games, closest without going over. Submit it to hockeyjerk10@gmail.com. Fire off the email, hockeyjerk10, that's all one word, no spaces, @gmail.com. Hit him up with your answers. Answers must be submitted by puck drop tomorrow. Is usually what we do. But sometimes people aren't able to get to the podcast until a day or so late. So to help everybody out, you know what? Maybe I give you the first one for free. So get your answers in before puck drop on what? Thursday. I'm giving you to Thursday. All right? The Thursday game. Get your answers in. So you get the attendance for Seattle for free. Submit your answers. You can win a prize pack next week. And that's the way we're going to run it. There's a, I don't know about a Straw Hat Luffy, whatever. But anyway, yes, there's a Straw Hat giveaway next Saturday. All right. So as I stated, coming up this week, it's versus Seattle, versus LA, versus St. Louis, versus Arizona. So as I said earlier, I think the Sharks have a shot at beating Seattle. They've been playing not great as of late. It's been what seems to be rather unimpressive hockey. They're 2-6-2 over their last 10. It's just, I don't know. Now, the odd thing about it is they do have a winning record on the road, barely. And actually, it's more of a losing, because it's 14-13 and then 7 overtime losses. So, you could make the case that that's losing. But either way, they got a .500 record right now, but 2 wins in their last 10. So Seattle kind of spiraling. Maybe this is a game that the Sharks can be up for. Then you have LA. That game, I mean, as I stated earlier, LA, they're 6-4-0 in their last 10, but they're on a 2-game losing streak, and they are chasing Vegas for that spot to get back into the top 3 of the Pacific. So I would expect LA to come out bussing and just roll San Jose in that one. Then you get St. Louis again. If that last game was any indication, again, that's another one that I'm like, fuck, those could be the 2 games that San Jose could win. All depends on, well, I should also note that Binnington didn't play the last St. Louis game. Maybe that can be the difference. Who knows? And then you get Arizona. Now, a lot of people sit there and go, well, Arizona sucks. They're 28th out of 32. And I completely agree with you. This will be the 3rd game in 4 nights for San Jose, so maybe that'll be an excuse. I don't know. You'll also probably have Cooley in net. So I think that game could go either way. But it will be a Pucknologist takeover because the game against the Desert Dogs is next Sunday. So we will be on earlier than normal. Once the Sharks and Yotes go final, we will go live, and I believe this game starts at about 3 o'clock Pacific, which means we'll likely be on the air about 5:40-ish. So there you go. I'm going to do a final call for any questions or comments you want to get in before I dip. Might jump on to the Discord after this, just because this was such a short show without the Jerkman being able to say what he needs to say. And so I'm going to guess that next week, because we will be on earlier, he might have some things to say. So on Twitter, you can follow him at hockey_jerk. You can follow me at AJ_strong. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave your take in the comment section of this video if you weren't with us live. You can always help us keep us commercial free by using the super chat option during our live shows, as Falcon Strike 21 did earlier. Or better yet, hit us up on the Venmo. Find us at Tealtown USA. And like I said, might hit up Discord here in a minute. So if you need that 24/7 fix of Sharks Talk, at hockey_jerk on Twitter can get you your very own VIP invite to the Discord. You can always find links to social media, podcast apps, and more included in the show notes. Find everything on tealtownusa.com. And every single game this week, all four, there will be an After Dark following that game. Make sure you check it out. As soon as the game's over, we'll be on here gabbing about it. So now I'm checking the chat. Now we do the chat check-in. See you next Saturday. You got it, Ramon. You got it. Chris Martin, the Blues got booed off the ice by the home crowd. Blue may be looking for payback. I hope so. I want the number one pick. I at least want the best odds to get the number one pick. Someone keep asking questions to extend enough for Jules to get her shit together and get on. No. That's on me. I should have extended that invitation far earlier in the program. Sleepy Mofo, good place to pregame next weekend other than San Pedro. I miss Patty's. That, my friend, awesome question. I'll give you a couple that I like. I kind of bounce around. If you're a beer person, is it Fieldwork? Floodcraft? I always conflate the two for some reason. But it's that beer garden that's right next to Whole Foods down by the corner of Stockton and Santa Clara. So you just, walk under the train tracks and right there. Easy peasy walk, block away. So if you enjoy the beer, good place to go. Probably want to try to get there a little bit on the earlier side because it can get full pretty quick. But if the weather's nice, there's, a nice patio down below and you can take your beer down there. But solid place. Another place that I like is Littlest Little Italy. So if you're familiar with where Henry's High Life is, just go. It's right there. It's all part of that little area. So you've got the Littlest Little Italy with Bebo's, so you can get yourself a slice, or I think they got buffalo wings or some other shit like that. But also good taps rotating. It's also a full bar, so they can do full mixed drinks. Right next to that part of it, great wine selection if you're into wines, and they got cheeses and the charcuterie board and all that. But they also have a sandwich thing, a Chicago sandwich type deal going on next to it. Those are pretty solid sandwiches. And across the street, you also have the relocated Poorhouse Bistro. So that was, Poorhouse and Patty's used to be my jam. So once in a while, I'll pop into that Poorhouse. It's literally the same house. They picked it up and moved it. The overall vibe, a little different, a little nicer, actually, but always a good way to pregame. So, like a tiger, wait, Jerk is on? On what? Jerk is on the ice right now. He's playing hockey. That's why he's not here. Do you think hockey players will ever get paid what they should be versus other leagues like the MLB or NFL? I don't think hockey players are paid that poorly. I think NFL players and some MLB guys, especially pitchers, I think they are insanely overpaid. But that's just me. For the most part, I think hockey players get about right. That's, some of the, you're playing a sport, for God's sakes. And now I understand you're playing a sport that you could, get seriously fucked up for the rest of your life. Now, on that part, I think there should be more done in, helping out players once they're finished in the sport, particularly if they were injured playing that sport. But I still think that the others, basketball has to be the most overpaid on the planet. Oh my God. And Ian pointing out, something clearly obvious is, hockey doesn't make the same money. It's the revenues. If all the revenues went up, if hockey was way more popular, all the salaries would go up. So you got it, Sleepy. If you're going next Saturday, I'm gonna be out. I'll be out there too. Chances are I'll be at Bebo's. Usually go over there and have a pint or two before the nice little walk. And again, the slices at Bebo's, no free ads, but so solid. So I think look at that. Not a tight 45, a somewhat loose 60. But hey, done before 8 o'clock? This is unheard of. Do you like a shorter show without Jerk? Or do you like the 2-hour jab fest with me and Jerk? I think I know your answers. So, that's it, everyone. I'll give you a couple more comments here. Pretty good 49. If these guys were offered $100,000 to play this game, they would. It's better than most jobs. There you go. That's what I'm saying. Especially basketball. I'm sorry. Cry for me, Argentina. But these, you see guys losing teeth. They miss one shift. If it happens just before intermission, they don't miss a shift. Who was it? Who's the guy? Who's the guy from the Niners? 81 defensive guy. Ronnie Lott. If memory serves, something happened with his finger during like a very important game, and he was like, fucking cut it off. Like, that's how much it meant. Like, those guys, hardcore. Basketball players, bunch of fucking prima donnas. I jammed my finger. So you can still pass the ball. Give me a break. And they're out for, 3 weeks. Did the show, hold on, what is it? Did we mention Brody and Hockey Guy talking hockey and Sharks a few days ago? Thoughts? I think Brody's probably just using Hockey Guy for his heat because Hockey Guy has 18 million times the subscribers Brody does. So I think Brody's just a user, and I'm totally kidding. Look, it's my only beef with that is I've seen a couple of, for the most part, Shannon, I would completely, bow down. Like, you have knowledge above reproach. But every once in a while, though, I feel like he does get something wrong that I feel like would have taken you 10 seconds to make sure you got that one right. And that's happened a couple times with the Sharks. And now I get it. I get shit wrong, and the only team I pay attention to is the Sharks. He's got to pay attention to the other 31. So, the occasional mistake, hey, do it. But, look, is it better than hearing Curtis Brown going, why? Because, but debatable. I think we could talk about that. How long is Bedard going to wear the cage? Until he feels comfortable not wearing it. That's all I can say. Honestly, it's an honest answer. What can I tell you? Oh, man. Oh, okay. This is going to be the last comment, and then I'm out of here. The game I'm talking about with regards to Ronnie Lott, the final game of the 85 regular season against the Cowboys, the 49ers needed a win to get into the playoffs. Wow. And if memory strikes, if memory serves, they didn't win that game. I don't, did they go to the playoffs in 85? I thought that was a strike-shortened season. Anyway, so clearly, I know they won the Super Bowl the year before, so clearly I have some 49ers research to do. So I'm out of here, everybody. It's been a full 60. We thank you so much for listening. We hope you, and me speaking on behalf of Jerk, we hope you had a fantastic Easter. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Like I said, I'll probably jump over to the court for a little bit if you care to join. And we'll catch you next Sunday following Sharks versus Desert Dogs. Jerk, I hope you won your first game of the new season. Here it is, your moment of zen.
Fire everyone.